Okay. Hey everyone, I'm siberianbull9. This is Mega Man 10. I want to thank Cineath and Green Man Gaming for having me kick off this little shindig of ours. You need to plant in front of some trees. We're going to play Mega Man 10, but we're not going to be playing it as Mega Man. We're actually going to be playing it as Bass. And as a means for starting the game, you don't actually start the game on the actual start screen. The timer will start when I select my first Robot Master, which is Commando Man. And I'm not going to waste any more time here, as I want to just get straight to it. So, in 3, 2, 1, go! Alright, so Mega Man 10. We're playing as Bass as opposed to Mega Man. And one of the unique things about Bass is, in Mega Man 10, Mega Man doesn't actually have his slide like he had in past games. In fact, Bass actually dashes like Mega Man X. So we're gonna choose. We're gonna choose. We're gonna take it safe here and not die early on. So we got treble right off the start, so we can make it nice and easy getting through the early part of this game. Screw it. Backup strats, go. All right. So Bass dashes, he also can fire lemons, but he doesn't charge. In fact, he actually has an auto fire function, which allows him to fire his lemons automatically, but he can't move. So we're choosing Commando Man stage because one, we get treble early. With Mega Man, we actually don't get rush until after we beat our 4th Robot Master. And that doesn't mean after 4 Robot. I mean, after 80 Robot Masters, we get rush. It's after you actually defeat 4 Robot Masters. And just to be safe, we'll go up there so we don't fall in a pit. And we're at the door, so we're going to take on Commando Man stage. And one interesting thing about Commando Man is he doesn't have iframes when he jumps in the air. So when he jumps in the air, we're going to all-purpose fire right into him. So we're going to hopefully see a nice melt with Commando Man and his health. And we're going to play it a little safe here. And just like that, Commando Man is down. That is 1 Robot Master. So we'll get one of our weapons, which isn't exactly one of my favorites, Commando One, and we're going to be using that for our next stage to get the weapon that will really help us navigate our way through the rest of the game. Okay, so we're going to move on to Blade Man stage next here. And we are going to dash our way through, avoiding this very ancient castle, as it seems thematically appropriate to get through. As Blade Man, we'll have the weapon we will be using to primarily get through the rest of the game. And we're going to use treble here a lot, like in the first stage, to navigate certain obstacles and making our way through. And, you know, dashing is much more fun than regular old walking, you know, because since Mega Man doesn't have a slide in this game. And we're going to take on this castle here, the first of many mid-bosses that this game and 9 like to throw at us, since Instinct creates made these two. And there goes the castle, and we're going to dash our way through the screen, just like that. And we're going to switch back to treble, fall our way down. And I just realized I'm having background noise here. And sorry about that. So we'll use treble here, and fly our way through. Switch, get a nice little extra drop there. It was not intended. Pick up the extra, and we're going to avoid these seesaws that you saw littered throughout the stage. They're very annoying because instead of just jumping on them and back and forth, we'll just use treble and avoid all that. So we're coming up to the blade door, and what we're going to use Commando Bomb. It's not the actual missile that does damage, it's going to be the splash damage. So what we want to do is hope we see doubles as we fire at the wall here, and hopefully get 2 shots. And this is not going well. Yep, that went about as well as I thought it did as soon as I missed my shot on the left there. Alright, good thing we got the weapon tag. Happy little accidents. Alright, so we're going to try this again with Commando Bomb, and we're going to try to, again, get those double shots on the wall. Like that, and boom, Blade Man goes down. Much easier fight than the first time. Alright, so now we got our weapon that we're going to primarily see a lot of through the rest of this game in the Triple Blade. The Triple Blade will allow us to walk normally as opposed to be a standing auto-firing platform. So we're going to use that, and we're we're actually not going in a Robot Master weakness order now. We're actually going to go to Chill Man stage next, as we need his weapon for the Robot Master afterwards. To better our movements throughout the rest of the game. So once again, here is Triple Blade. Triple Blade is a great weapon. It's kind of a very good utility weapon, as it pretty much will destroy these ice blocks. Now these ice blocks require you to either jump or fire on them twice in order to break them. But the Triple Blade and the Commando Bomb, the explosion, will destroy these to allow us to fall through very quickly. Going to avoid these little section here with all these snowmen and these Susies who've graciously made their return after so long, as we use treble and destroy these ice blocks to avoid going up quickly. And one more section. Now we're going to a very dangerous section here where you get to see these little stompers that you saw a preview of already, and these little birds that fire these little football egg projectiles that will absolutely mess me up as I, again, fall into another pit. As you can see, that's a very treacherous section to make through. As even in Mega, it's very treacherous because you're not sure what the Somper's pattern are, and then you gotta also deal with the penguins firing those footballs from different directions, and the blocks to there we go. Now we got the pattern. So we're gonna take on Showman. Even if I didn't waste all the Triple Blade I would have used it for this fight. So we're gonna use the Buster for this fight. It's actually a very safe pattern because Showman basically runs and he fires his little chill goop for the spikes. Now it's a very safe fight with the Buster, as pretty much you can dash out the way just in time from Showman firing his first shot, which will always go onto the ground. The second shot will always go to the wall. So as long as you're avoiding that first shot, you can dash out of the way just in time to avoid getting gooped up. But yeah, that is Chill Man. That's how that fight. Now, if we use the triple shot, what would happen is all three blades have their own damage value. So if I hit Chill Man with three blades, that'd be 3 damage, 2, etc., etc. But we didn't have enough blades for me to feel comfortable doing that, so figured use the Buster, keep it safe. So with that is 3. We're gonna move on to Nitro Man next, and we're gonna play in traffic now. So this is Nitro Man stage. It's one of the well, there's, you know, I was gonna say one of the bangers in this game, but this game has several bangers. This just happens to be one of them. And we're gonna use this triple blade to stop traffic, basically. Or at least fail to stop traffic. Fortunately, base dashes so we can avoid traffic too, but I really messed that up. And again, using shovel to avoid climbing. Hopefully get it correct on the next screen, as I got the mouse in the way. Alright, hopefully do it right this time. There we go. So those little dots up the top is basically our traffic lights. And we use triple blade to basically stop traffic from happening and these trucks appearing on screen. And we're going to use the chill on the last one, or just completely forget and almost get right into the spikes there. One more use of trouble for this stage. There we go. And we're just going to avoid these cars for the rest of the stage, as the door is right there. Now we're going to use Chill Spike for Nitro Man here. Now, it's not the goop, again, that's going to do the damage. It's actually going to be the spike itself. And what we want to see from Nitro Man is 5 passes. And that's pretty much going to be a 1 cycle right there. So let's see if he gives us the good. Yep. Nitro Man gave us the goods, and that is a quick fight. Goodbye, Nitro Man. And with that, we are going to go to everyone's favorite stage, Strike Man. On my splits, usually I got him down as Sport, which was an accident, which is, you know, still funny. But Strike Man stage is interesting because it's the one stage in this game that actually doesn't have any pitfalls in it. It doesn't have any spikes, doesn't have any pits to fall in. If you die in Strike Man stage, it's going to be do because you took too much damage. So, with that being said, we're going to switch to our good friend Blade to help us through the early portion of this game. And these lockers on the background here actually are on their own cycle. So if you're on the right cycle later in the game, you know which lockers are going to go up. So we're going to take all these goalies, and we have base, and we're going to fire straight up into the face of the goalie and take him down just like that. Avoid the last two. And one more set. And just in time for my security thing to come block up half the screen. Fantastic. Alright, so that's our second goalie. And we're going to use actually Nitro Reel. We're going to see Nitro Reel in action for the first time. So outside of it being a weapon and me using it as a weapon earlier, we actually use the Nitro Reel to go up the walls here to increase our vertical speed. And as you can see, I was on almost the correct time. I was actually expecting the second set of lockers to open up there, but instead I got the first set, which is just fine because now we're at the bus store. And we're going to take on Strike Man, and we're going to see if we can also get the 1 cycle here against Strike Man. Sadly, he's now being covered up by my security connect on the right side. I can't really see where exactly he is. Either way, down he goes. There we go. Now we got out of the way. Now I can see the bottom right corner of my screen. That was fun. Alright, so that is number 5 of our 8 Robot Masters for this game. We're going to move on. And now that we've gotten through our 5th Robot Master, we're now going to ask the really tough questions when it comes to Robot Masters. And that question is, do Robot Masters think of Electric Sheep? So we're going to go to Sheep Man stage next. And you know, at this point, we got 10 games in the franchise, 11 if you count for Rockman Forte, which the community does, but you know, it's not numerical. But yeah, this is the first time where Intercreate/Capcom decide, hey, let's do a stage on the internet. Because that's, because yeah, sure, Battle.net just came out this month, the collection date, I should say. But they really didn't have a stage in the Classic series based on the internet. X4 was the internet stage we'll just use trouble there and avoid all that. Usually I use the triple blade there to take him down. So we're coming up to our next little mini boss in this game called the Octobulb, and we're going to use Commando Bomb on him and hopefully get him in one shot. Yep, there we go. Switch to base again, because the real gimmick on this stage is to use that conveyor belt and charge it up so you have these little platforms to jump up. But with treble or rush, depending on who you're playing as, yeah, no thanks. That takes time, and that's time I don't want to waste. So we got one more section coming up, and as you saw here, we got our traditional Yoku block showing up in the game. But again, I have treble. Or, at this point, you will have Rush if you're playing as Mega. And, you know what? No thanks. We'll just ignore all that. And one more set of disappearing blocks. As we enter the Sheepman door. So we're going to use Round Striker for Sheepman. Now, Round Striker is interesting because every time it bounces off a wall, a total of 5 times, one bounce is an extra bit of damage. So we're going to use those bounces to our advantage and hopefully deal with Sheepman rather quickly here. As you can see, he separates into 4 different clouds, and if you don't get the right one, you're going to have to keep guessing. But you know what? Either way, down goes Sheepman. That is 6. We're going to go to number 7, which is Pumpman. And it's not exactly a water stage, it's more of a sewage stage, as you'll see in a moment here. There we go. And here we go with our Pumpman stage, and we're going to switch to Triple Blade here early to get rid of this spider in the ceiling. Not that one. That one. And we're going to avoid these connecting blocks here. Switch to Trouble, because we got these downpours right here, which, if you're playing as Mega, Pump's generally the first stage you go to. So those could potentially push you right down into the pit. But with base, with Trouble, no thank you. Get up them. Of course, the shrimp said, nope, gonna get one more hit. Use Round Striker to take down that enemy. And now we're coming to a very difficult section where you got the current against you, as you may have noticed earlier, and you got these bubbles that will appear from these little ejectors. And if you get caught one of them, that's pretty much death unless you destroy it. So generally, you got to be very careful as you're going through that section. So we're going to attempt to use Thunderwall for this Pumpman fight. And if it doesn't work, it doesn't work. Because we got Triple Blade as the backup. But what we want to do is we want to see Pumpman basically jump into the Thunderwall. But that's enough. So we're going to use Triple Blade for the rest of this fight. And the thing about shields in Mega Man games, they're only suggestions. You can really just get into a point in the pixels and just fire away. But, you know, with base being basically a platform, you're just opening yourself to do a little more damage. But, you know, Triple Blade, 3 damage, 3 shots, into that little crevice, will just do the job just fine. So that is 7. We got one more, and it's pretty much my favorite stage of the 8 Robot Masters in this game, and that is Solar Man. And I don't just say that for the music. But get those cat jams in chat, please. As you're going to see a bit more of Nitro Wheel in this stage as we use it to get up these walls rather quickly. Really taking just a little careful there. I suddenly forgot where Treble was in the quick swap wheel. So we're coming up to another mini boss, Suzak and Phoenix, these two little birds who are an RNG nightmare who will just decide to do whatever they please. But we have base and we have triple blade, and they die very quickly. And this will be the second stage you come to in the Mega Energy Percent category. As we get to see a repeat of the first section again. As we are on these conveyor belts, avoiding these tikis. These chankis, I should say, not tikis. That we seen from once upon a time in Mega Man 1. And a couple more uses of the Nitro Wheel to go up walls. And we're almost there. One wait. Alright, so we're coming up to the Solar Man fight, and we're going to be using the pump as our weapon weakness. And the one thing about pump is each dot, much like Triple Blade, will do its own damage. So you can potentially take down Solar Man in 2 shots, and hopefully that's what we'll see here, because that's the good pattern. As depending on how he opens up here, will determine how this fight kind of goes. Oh, he gave us best pattern, but I kind of screwed it up there. But that's okay. Again, we had tons of health, we had tons of pump. Each little pump shield does its own bit of damage, and down goes Solar Man. So that is 8 Robot Masters already. And we're going to move it on to castle stages next. So if you're interested in what the actual story for this Mega Man game was, essentially there is a robot epidemic going on, Roboenza, and it's making all the robots and robot masters sick. So, with that being said, it turns out, yeah, Dr. Wily was behind the sickness all along, but he also has the cure. So we're going to go and get that cure from his castle. But first, we got to start with the first level of the castle, Wily 1, and it's the Archives. Now, the Archives, I'm going to hold off a little bit, but just let you know, much like earlier, this stage actually has its own timer. And basically what that means is, if you do the stage correctly every time, you'll be sent to see what enemy shows up first. And here's our first set of Robot Masters from previous Mega Mans. Here's Wood, here's Elec, here's Gemini. So yeah, we get to see a whole horde of Robot Masters in the Archives here. Now the interesting thing about these particular Robot Masters that were selected, they are in fact KG and Infinity's favorite Robot Masters from the series. Get up. Now, one more use of, like, wheel, get down the wall there. So yeah, one of the interesting things about these Robot Masters, they're actually weak to their previous encounters, and previous appearances, I should say, I'm sorry. Oh. Careful there. So, you know, for instance, we used a cutting weapon to defeat both Gemini and Elec. We used blades on Wood, but we don't have a wind weapons because Flame Man was weak to wind, so we got Pump. Or, you know, Napalm Man, weak to spheres. There we go. Those bouncies came in handy to take down Napalm Man. Ooh, nicely timed. So we're gonna actually go into the pit here a bit, pick up this big health just for safety reasons. So we got one more set of Robot Masters to the stage as we continue through the Archives here. we're going to see a lot of, and as you may have already seen, we had seen a lot of quick weapon swapping here, as pretty much you're going to see more as we go into the next stage. And usually, as is tradition with most Mega Man games, the weapon energy doesn't exactly go with you, so we got to be a little careful as we are going through his stages. Commando for this guy. And we're in the last door. I am hoping our first robot master to come out of our last three is Frostman. If not, we'll have to switch to Blade. Alright, there we go. Got the goods. So we got Frost, Tornado, Slash. Slash actually being the worst of this three because you have to use the Chill Spike. And again, it's not the group that does the damage, it's the actual spike. So, but with Triple Blade, that kind of minimizes what you need to do with it, and it just goes down quickly. Just don't even have to deal with it, just fire away with the blades. So we're going into Wily 2, or as where good speedruns go to die for this game. Because again, we're on the clock. And I don't mean the speedrun clock, I mean the world clock for this game. Alright, just wanted to wait for that so the round would destroy that last guy. Switch to Blade. Or just use Pump there. That'll work. That'll work. Backup strats. Go. Deploy the backup strats. And here's what I mean where we're on a timer. So these plungers up top are on their own cycle as you're going throughout the game, and it's a continuous cycle. So if you come to the screen and you see the plunges where they're going, you actually know what cycle you're on, and you can decide how you're going to go through the screen. Usually I need to see that second crusher in order to... And we screwed that up. We're going to do it this way. Backup strats, deploy. So yeah, those crushers are actually on their own timer. So we use those to determine what cycle we need to be on, so then we can proceed safely without dying. Or without, you know, running into a cannon because of dashing. I think I picked up an extra life. Okay. Are we having fun yet? Even though it's the first one. So let's see if we get the one cycle on Octoball this time. Nope. Just my luck. Oh well. Deploy those backup strats. Now we're just going to be very safe for the rest of this stage. There we go. Alright, so we're going to be on time. We're going to pull out Treble here and hopefully not screw up the rest of the stage, because I believe we only have one life left. And I would like to get to Wily 3 without the game overing. One more, just to be safe. Alright, so we're coming up to the Crab Puncher here. And normally, in a speedrun, you would use Commando Bomb to take down the Crab Puncher, but I hate the Commando Bomb. So we're going to use an even worse weapon in Thunderwolf, and we're hopefully going to get this really, really cool strat. Oh my goodness, we might get it. Nope, we just missed it. We just missed it. So what I was hoping for there is hoping to get the Thunderbolt right behind the claw there. So then every time the eyes would collide into the Thunderbolt thunder, it would actually melt the Crab Puncher's health. But I just barely missed it. So, you know, I'm not allowed to do cool strats today. That's just the way this run's going. So on to Wily 3 we go. And I hope you guys liked elevator music, because this stage is nothing but elevator music, as you can clearly see. So if Cineath has any announcements he needs to make, now's a good time.
Well, thank you so much for inviting me back in. I hope you're having fun with the run. I know I'm having fun watching it. I have not played any of the legacy Mega Mans. I started playing on Mega Man X1. We don't have any new donations, unfortunately. Go to donate.green-gaming.org and start planting some trees. Siberian, thank you so much again for the $50 that you donated earlier to name the horse Epona into tree.
Yes, that's the correct pronunciation. I probably should have made it all caps and put an exclamation point. That way you have to yell it. That way you have to yell it.
But we have that. We have, you can also name the file name for Link. So My Dude is obviously a popular option, but that's the only option. So free reign on that incentive. There's many incentives to go for. There are prizes to go for. Devolver Digital Games, if you don't own any of these, you need to grab them because they're amazing. So definitely go grab one of those. It's only $5 to get a ticket to the drawing, and we're giving away 5 of each game, and there's like 8 games you can pick from. So like there's quite a bit there as far as prizes. There's also merch in our store. $5 of anything that you buy from the store gets donated to the charity at the end of the marathon. So if you want to rock a sweater, or if you want to rock a hat, a mug, anything like that, it is merch.green-gaming.org.
Alrighty, thank you for that. So we're kind of to the end here. We got one more section to go through. We're going to pull out trouble one more time. We're going to avoid these solar plants and that met on the ceiling that always give me trouble, because you saw there were spikes there. Now we're coming up to the boss of this stage, and pretty much this boss is basically 2 bosses put together. There's Yellow Devil and there's Pico Pico from Mega Man 2. So this is the boss I like to call the Pico Devil. So these blocks are going to form like the Yellow Devil, and then an eye's going to come out. And we're going to use Round Striker on that eye. So the thing is, we're going to try and aim to get the Pico Devil down in one cycle with the Round Striker shots. As we're going to bounce them off the wall. Let's see where he goes. Up. Just like that. So if that eye disappeared before it went off screen, that would have cost us a minute just to come back. So fortunately, we avoided that, as that was one cycle, as Pico Devil gone, and we're off to what everyone loves in Mega Man games, refights. Now we gotta actually get a little more round before we head on up. But fortunately, there's a energy capsule along the way, so we're gonna take the left side, pull out the wheel, and climb, climb, climb. Now we are essentially 33 minutes into this run. We've gone through our Robot Masters, and if you remember where our Robot Masters are on that screen, they're actually in the same tube. So for instance, Sheepman was the top right, and boom, there's Sheepman. Gone just like that. Commandos next. And pretty much we're just going to go clockwise. So this side we got like Commando's actual weakness, the wheel cutter. And we're going to about Thunderwolf once again, if I can switch to it correctly. So one interesting thing about Mega Man 10, if you hold the jump button on every screen you come in, your character, Mega Man or Bass, will pretty much jump or dash, in Bass's case, automatically. So you don't... Oh, stop that. Come on, jump back. Did not want to jump back through. That would have made me so happy. Would have had to avoid using 2 more T-Wolves into him, but that's okay. So we're going to use Blade again on Strike Man. Let's see if we can actually get the one cycle without... nope, not the time. As you can see, each blade did its own individual damage. Move to Spike. There we go. Let's see if Nitro once again gives us the goods and gives us the one cycle bite. He did not. That's okay. You can freeze him, and then pretty much every time you freeze him, his set, he can either restart his revving up and riding around, or he'll go into his other attack phase. Either way, he gave us the goods, and he died. Now we're going to use Solar, which we did not have on Chill Man the first time through, which is his actual weakness. Now, Solar is unique. Now, the one thing about quick swapping in this game is every time you change a weapon, or if you do it wrong like I was doing it, it pretty much cancels out the weapon. So you can see in really good runs, not like mine, where Solar will absolutely melt Chill Man as they bring it on screen, do damage, swap out, and swap right back to Solar Man's weapon. Screw it. Just die. And one more. We got Pump for Solar. There we go. Whew. Okay, so we're going to switch to Solar for the machine. And you think Wily would have used this when he had an actual Pyro Robot Master, which he did. But, you know, yeah! So again, Wily is in the air. We got this all-purpose direction buster. So we're going to use every single angle to destroy him and switch to Pump. And there goes the machine, just like that. Easy peasy. So Solar was the weakness for the machine. And obviously, we ran out of Solar. We could have used our weapon tank. But we also had that great weapon called Triple Blade, which allowed us to finish them off. For those wondering which one I'm playing, this is actually on Legacy Collection 2, which you can actually get on all platforms. But originally it was released on about, at this point, 2 generations ago on the Wii and 360 generation. But we're playing the Steam version of Legacy Collection, and now, yeah, we're on our final stage. Just to let you know, time will be coming up here shortly when we take on the capsule. Time will stop on the final hit. And we're going to switch to Chill Spike. And this stage, much like some of the other parts, is actually on its own cycle. If you get to the capsule room at the same way every time, you know what the fight is. And generally we want to see Wily in his little split formation, where he's got a real one and a fake one left and right. And we want to see that twice. And if you see that, that's pretty much the one cycle right there. We don't want to see him fire out these multiple bolts. But if we do, we do. So I don't think we got it, but we'll see what happens here. Nope. Oh man, he did give it to us. He did give us the good. I did get it, by the way. That was actually it. One more hit. Time. So yeah, that was Mega Man 10. Not my best attempts, but you know what? I had a 45 estimate, and I figured I could do it in a sub 40 manner, and here we are. Yeah. So I hope you guys enjoyed this run, despite its many hiccups, and I hope you come back and donate, plant more trees. We do need more of them, and enjoy the rest of the marathon.
Well, thank you so much for submitting the run. This was an awesome run. You got a 39:24 total time. That's probably a little bit off of your timer, but
It's fine. I forgot to start my time because I figured, you know what, I'll just look up the marathon time.
but that's a pretty good marathon time on an estimate of 45. So obviously, y'all can hear my bird.